same-sex marriage via a public vote, via a referendum, which is great here, but still, I'm sure you get it from Irish people, still absolutely terrified to come out to their parents about being gay.
I think, like everything in life, whether it be race or sexuality or whatever, there's always going to be people that is going to be ignorant. There's always going to be that. There's going to be kids that will grow up and be ignorant towards certain things. But what I find interesting about that is the granddad is from an older generation that you can, not as an excuse, but kind of say of his times or all that he would know might come across ignorant. But it was his daughter who's younger than him that was small-minded and kicked her own son out for being gay. Actually, that's quite strange when you think about it.
But it's quite strong. It's quite lovely as well because he's... I mean, do you think as you get older... Sorry, don't mean to, but you're older than you. But as you get older and you have children yourself, you get a hell of a lot more tolerant of society and the world in general, and that's perhaps why he just looked at his grandson and went, I love him, I don't care what he is or is not, or whatever.
But look, I wouldn't read too much into this. We all know, sadly, that the mother is just, you know, wrong. And, you know, she's done an awful thing. Interestingly, when we look at that marriage referendum, because I had reason to look at the figures recently, it was a massive vote. It was 1.2 million, the biggest vote ever. The simple facts are, when you look at the demographics, people over 50 voted in favour of it as well, you know. Really? And curiously, in rural Ireland, and it comes down to this, there was what pollsters are calling an only gay in the village syndrome, that actually these elderly people, grandparents, they knew at least one gay person in the family or a neighbour. And what's wrong with Tommy or Joan or whatever it was? Why can't they get... And you know, now, it was a narrow majority, but still...
A majority, nonetheless.
The majority. And the reason I was looking at the figures, we won't be getting into it obviously today, but you know, with people talking about repeal the 8th, I don't think those figures will automatically transfer over because they actually knew people and they were concerned. And like, for me personally, isn't it just, if the two guys there are mad enough to want to profess love to one another and live together in happiness for the rest of it, I'm just absolutely thrilled for them. And exactly. You know, why would you have a concern about it? And if you go back to all of the problems we've ever had in a society, wherever that society has been, it's been because certain things were allowed to be taboo or secret. And you know, we can't blame religion, but religious traditions kept things taboo. But it wasn't just societal traditions did as well. You know, and as you say, Ryan, live and let live.
And I'm so glad that he has disowned his daughter as well, because she deserves that.
Yeah. But would you be, if someone... You're very black and white in your outlook now. I know that from talking to you before, but, I mean, has there ever been anyone in your family who had that reaction to you, or were they like universally supportive? No,
I haven't experienced that unless they're doing it behind my back. But if they did, they'd be completely gone. Like, I love myself more than I love my family. Does that make sense to you? Like, I had to sit down and make that decision that, I love my family, whatever, but I love me. And I love me being happy.
Did you ever have any issues?
No, I wouldn't. I don't really have issues, but I just think to myself, if people are so narrow-minded and they can't take you for who they are, then they're not even worth being in your life, to be honest with you. Don't waste your time on somebody that doesn't accept you for you.
I love hearing what you've just said about how you loved yourself. And I know it could sound wrong, more than your family, but you've got to be comfortable with yourself. And because, as Elaine likes to remind me, I'm a slightly elder lemon here, but when I was around your age and a little bit older, I can think of about 3 of my friends who I, to this day, still believe were gay, and one of them got married, you know, and
to a woman.
And so on. And you know, I really feel very sorry for them that they didn't feel there were at a time that they could do what you've done.
But you couldn't.
You know?
Like back then, it did come out and like, I couldn't even imagine what people had to go through.
Why not? But like, yes,
of course,
but because of these, because now that it's gone, it seems so silly looking back, you know.
But even in the difference in tolerance, I'm sure with your kids now, they're of an age where, like, they don't give a damn either way. Like, it makes no sense that there was even a referendum about it. Why can't you marry a man or a woman?
And you know, the thing I didn't like with the referendum was there's quite a high percentage that said no, which actually is quite sad. It's like to do a vote I vote yes or no for equal marriage, that gay marriage be allowed.
What, like the...
But wasn't there quite a high percentage
like the
of no
referendum.
votes?
1.2 versus 700,000 voted no.
Yeah.
Like that's quite sad.
Yeah, but still in referendums, you know, stronger than two, you know,
I don't
almost 2
think
to
you
1
should
result.
have to come out as a person. I think you shouldn't even have to
be
say
this
this big song and dance of I am who I am.
In an ideal world, you wouldn't have to announce anything. And I think in society in general, I know this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I know with young gays, and particularly young gay travellers, there's a movement that they should be able to come out and discuss, and if they have mental illness or anything like that. And we've talked about eating disorders yesterday, and
but like the whole of society is way healthier.
Yeah,
you know?
the more you talk about
like
things.
back in the day, and it's not back in the day like 100 years ago.
10
It's
years
like
ago.
the Ireland I grew up in. Like, if you had any problem of any kind, you just drank.
Yeah.
That was the answer. You just drank in a pub, and you were the weird one up at the other end of the bar, no matter what it was. Whether you had a mental health issue, or you had to keep your sexuality closeted, or whatever. It was just, that was it.
But how long have you lived in London now?
22 years,
Yeah, so
but I'm home all the time, so I see the change.
Do you see the evolution?
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite markedly, because I think it's different if you do, like, if you go away and come back and go away and come back. Whereas people living here, it might be a kind of a natural evolution. It's a better place than.
Look, I mean, Ireland, in any of the sort of happiness indexes around the world, Ireland's one of the happiest countries in the world. For all are given out. Anyway. It's true. People talk. People talk. All you got to do is talk. Yeah. Cup of tea and a chat, and do you know what? It solves a lot of life's problems, doesn't it? Anyway, lots more to come today in the final part of Midday. Find out the strangest things people say in their sleep. See you for that in 3.